Welcome in to week 14 of the Fantasy Six Pack Fantasy Baseball Waiver Wire picks. We have another mix up this week again. We're just revolving the hosts around and around this time of year. I was out last week. Now JP's out this week, but again, we got Connor here filling us in, doing a great job as a complimentary or host here. So welcome in, Connor. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. Ready to get the show started.
Yeah, absolutely. So I don't know if you guys this is your first time here. Every week we roll out about 5 or 6 guys that should be available in almost all your leagues that can help you, from this week forward going on. And then we also have a article that Connor puts out every week that has about 20 to 40, maybe even 50 names every week.
Yep.
But if you want to get access to that article, you're going to have to become a Fantasy Six Pack Premium member. You can do that by going to fantasy6pack.net/plans. Not only Connor's article, but you get a ton of access to our Discord where we got, customization questions from each league. You can get in there and get a bunch of one-on-one questions answered from myself, Connor, and any of the other baseball analysts, as well as football content too. So become a member today. But right now we're here to talk about fantasy baseball waiver wire picks for week 14. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. The first guy here we're going to talk about is TJ Friedl, outfield of the Cincinnati Reds. He's a part of this new look Reds here with his young, exciting crop of guys. He was around last year, but this year he's still part of that team. Offers great stolen base totals. Got 14 stolen bases right now. Doesn't strike out a lot. He is enjoying a little bit of an inflated BABIP right now. His BABIP sits about 376, but he's going to give you a bunch of five category contributions. Right now he's got a 134 weighted RC plus, and then he plays basically in the best hitters park in all of baseball for home runs. But what do you think about Friedl? Is this someone that you're adding in even shallow leagues?
Oh yeah, I added him. It's a shallow 12-team league. Dropped Adam Duvall for TJ Friedl, and kind of just playing the hot hand right there for now. Hopefully Friedl can keep it up. He's been one of the hottest outfielders, one of the hottest batters in baseball over the last 15 days. That's really impressive. I want to see the run production kind of do an uptick, but I think with where the Reds are right now, I think they're kind of all upticking right now in the run production.
Yeah,
I think low strikeout guy. I like that.
Exactly. I think you nailed it. That whole Reds lineup right now is just gelling with all those, with Ellie coming up, Spencer Steers having a great year. That run production, I think we'll start to either, I know that, putting up crooked numbers. I think they put up 7 last night and extras too. So, they're playing really well right now. I don't know what the record is since Ellie de Cruz has been up, but I know it's over 500 and they've been producing a lot of runs. So those run totals will tick up for Friedl. And then again, the stolen bases are going to be there too. So absolutely grab Friedl in even the shallower leagues. Going to go to our next guy here. It's going to be Ha-Seong Kim of the San Diego Padres. He was one of those guys that filled in for Tatis the whole time when Tatis was suspended last year and this year. The Padres obviously trust him. He's always been a really good, bat to ball type guy. He's now shifted over to second base. So I believe in most leagues he has second base eligibility, which is always a huge plus because he's multi-position eligible for one. 2, second base is not a very deep position. So if you're going to be able to get some really good production on your second baseman, that's always a huge plus. Over his last 7 games, he's hitting 320, 3 home runs with 8 RBIs. He sprays the ball to all fields. He's in surprisingly, the lineup is good. The team is not, if that makes sense. The record is not good, but the lineup is good. So he's going to have those RBI opportunities, going to have those run opportunities. And he actually really, dominates against lefties. He's a right-handed hitter. He's got an 858 OPS against lefties this season. So if anything, put him in those days where he's facing off against some lefties. But I'm adding Kim anywhere I need second baseman or any sort of, utility bat. What do you think?
Yep. Yeah, same here. No, in the same league I added Friedl. I actually added Ha-Seong Kim. Dropped Orlando Arcia for him because Orlando Arcia, like you said, he was going down, and Ha-Seong Kim's going up, so it worked perfect for my team. And he's very similar to TJ Friedl. All year kind of had a quiet season, and then in the last 15 days he's really exploded on the scene and really helping a lot of fantasy teams out right now. Low strikeout percentage, high walk rate. Yep, hits some for some power, gets some runs, but I'd like to see it all kind of increase too with the run production. But I think he can do it, and I mean he has shown he's doing it. He sat out yesterday due to hamstring strain, hamstring tightness.
Yeah.
So hopefully he's back in the lineup today. But if not, keep a close eye on it because I still think he'll be valuable.
Yeah, I think a lot of people's maybe with their waiver running here on Sunday night, maybe just monitor today and tomorrow's game because you're right, you did have a little bit of a hamstring issue, which sometimes could be lingering. But if he's back in the lineup today, absolutely, go out on your waiver and see if he's available to add because he's someone that should be in most fantasy baseball lineups for sure. Let's go keep it in the infield here and switch over to our next guy, and that's going to be Jordan Westburg of the Baltimore Orioles. Just yet another one of these top prospects that Baltimore's finally getting to graduate. I feel like we've been waiting on a lot of these guys for a few years now. It's like, they had all these top of the draft picks. I'm starting to get to finally see them graduate into the MLB. He was the 30th overall pick in the 2020 draft. So again, another one of these guys that's just like been in this enriched farm system that Baltimore's had. And it's actually been really well for them. They've been playing really good baseball this year. So thanks a lot to these top rookies. But he's off to a really hot start. It's a small sample, but he does have more walks than strikeouts. He's got an advanced approach at the plate, and he's actually had 18 home runs in 67 games at AAA earlier this year. So there is some power in that bat. Similar to the Reds, this Baltimore lineup is putting up crooked numbers. They're scoring runs. They're gelling. They're meshing. They're having a good time out there, which usually translates to good fantasy production. Right now, he currently has a 189 WRC plus, which that's pushing almost 200. That's really good. Again, small sample. He's only been up for about a week now, a few games. So, but jumped right in here and he's contributing right away. So, what else do you think about what I missed about Jordan Westburg?
My favorite thing was coming up. Fangraphs list him as like the 9th best prospect on the Orioles, and he's best with a power speed combo. So mostly kind of has the power and the speed. But yeah, despite these being his 2 best attributes so far, he only has 1 extra base hit and 0 steals, although he's only played 3 games. But I don't think that's any reason to worry because in AAA this season he had 18 home runs, he had 15 doubles, 2 triples, 6 stolen bases. And I think he's a guy that you look at what he did in AAA this year and you look at what he's supposed to be. I think he needs to be at it right now because with the way he's playing and hopefully the way he continues to play, he should be up with the big league club all year.
Yeah, I think, like I said earlier, I think when you get these lineups together where there's young guys and they get the opportunity and they start to gel and mesh well, there's always going to be good fantasy production coming out of those lineups. We've seen it firsthand with both Cincinnati and Baltimore here.
Yeah.
All right, let's go and talk a couple hitters now. So let's jump over and talk about a pitcher that should be available in most leagues. And yeah, again, it's another rookie. Me and you and JP say it every week. I'm sure you need pitching somewhere in one of your lineups or all lineups for that matter between the injuries and the super inflated ERAs this year. You're just looking for that next hot pitcher that's come up or it's been pitching really well. And that guy right now is Emmet Sheehan. He's a rookie pitcher. But I don't think it's just any other rookie pitcher. The Dodgers sometimes always can find these guys that, they not only find in the draft, but then also develop really well. It's a huge strikeout pitcher. He was striking out 42% of hitters at AA this year. While that strikeout total is not quite, translating to the majors, he's still striking out like just under a batter an inning. But hitters are only hitting 169 against him right now. So he's getting a lot of weak contact. He's getting a really good defense behind him. And he just, my biggest concern was, someone in the Discord said, hey, should I start Sheehan and Coors? And that's really a big test for especially a young pitcher just to, go into Coors and pitch well. And that's what he did. He went 5 innings. The hits were a little bit of a rough patch, but kept the ball in the field. There's no home runs, no walks, 5 strikeouts, 50% ground ball rate in Colorado, which is what you're going to need in Colorado to succeed. So
yeah,
if you need pitching, strikeout pitching, starting pitchers, there's no reason she should be on your waiver wire because he looks to be, all that and more since he's had 2 quality starts out of his 3, and he just missed a 3rd quality start in Colorado. But
yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. He's been going just absolute dummy out here. Especially in Coors Field after the game, a reporter asked him how it felt, and he's saying it felt like a normal game. So that's what you love to hear from a young guy, especially playing at Coors for the first time. It's truly remarkable. And like you said, his batting average is real low right now. I forget exactly what the number you said was, but it's not just his batting average. His expected batting average is extremely low right now too. For his fastball, his expected batting average is 189. His changeup is 100. Slider is a 238 expected batting average. So I mean, it's not just the in-game stuff. He also has some, behind the analytical stuff that's backing him up too, that I really like.
Yeah, and again, it's just seems to be in this crop of guys that's like Bryce Miller and now Emmet Sheehan, these guys that Andrew Abbott that come up and they're finding success quickly, which you usually don't see with a lot of these young rookie pitchers, but especially in a year where it seems like the ball's just flying out of the ballparks, he's kind of limited that. So it's a really good, promising sight going forward. Absolutely grab him if it starts to fall or something. Then you can always just grab the next hot pitcher or whatnot and swap them out. But let's get and head back into another rookie that seems to be a pretty much trend on this show here, right? Is finding those rookies that are pretty much under-owned in most leagues. That's Henry Davis. He was the number 1 overall pick just 2 years ago, and he's already making an impact here in the major leagues. He made his debut last week. He's gotten a hit in 8 of his first 10 games, started his career. One caveat, though, he isn't playing catcher for Pittsburgh. But with that caveat, most fantasy leagues allow you to still put him at catcher this year. Yeah. So if you're looking for a cheat code, which he is, he's like these guys like, Dalton Varsho, JT Real Muto comes to mind. Some guys that don't always play catcher, but put up great numbers. You put him in your catcher position, that's going to be him because he basically plays outfield right now for Pittsburgh. And I think, similar to like Baltimore and Cincinnati, Pittsburgh's one of these, young teams that's coming up. They don't really have any expectations. And so they kind of just came out and just started hitting really well and playing really well. He already has 2 stolen bases too, which, the speed isn't a huge part of his game, but with this new rules, I feel like everyone's contributing stolen bases. So if you're getting stolen bases at your catcher position, that's huge too. Right now he's got 11 home runs across all 3 levels this year too. That's a career high. So the power numbers are still there, and that's across 3 levels. So it's not. I know in AA they were testing out AA or AAA they were testing out that new ball. So it's not just the numbers with the wonky ball. It's across 3 levels too. So. And again, he's really making a huge impact for the Pirates so far this year. And they didn't call him up to sit the bench. So he's going to be getting that time. He's going to be a cheat code for your catcher position. And he should be available in your league.
Exactly. Yeah, no. Already has the 3 extra base hits in like 10, 11 games that he's been up. And yeah, I'm glad you said Dalton Varsho because that's exactly who I thought of when you look at Henry Davis, playing the outfield, but he still has that catcher eligibility. It's a gold mine for fantasy baseball.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, those guys are they're just like cheat codes, right? Like catcher position's already awful, but if you can get a guy that doesn't even technically play catcher, but he has that, he's a bat first catcher basically. That's what you could call him right now. Is those guys that are just like bat first catchers. They're not in the lineup for their defensive prowess behind the plate. He's not even playing behind the plate. He's just there because his bat plays well. So that's really grab him in your leagues. All right, let's jump on over here to and let's go another pitcher here. Again, every week, need that pitching. I'm sure you got some guy that's on your IL or went to your IL because of pitching, or guys got a 7 ERA. I saw even the best are not, are getting susceptible to the ERA. I saw McClanahan give up like 4 runs in 3 innings last night. So it's like you can't even count on these these dominant pitchers to get you good ERA and ratios because no one's susceptible from that. So, but Sanchez here is a starting pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. Left-handed pitcher, which is, kind of rare for the starters, but he's getting strikeouts, which is always, good plus for your starters. Striking out about a batter per inning. He's actually pitching better than his 4 ERA suggests. Right now, his FIP is only 2.83 with a 3.5 xFIP. So while he necessarily isn't, the ERA is not what, obviously you get ERA in most ratios is in your league. I would see some of that regression coming for that ERA. Again, it's a small sample. So the ERA could look a little inflated while I think it's only like a couple games here. But he's on a good right now. The Phillies are playing really well, so he should contribute wins. Again, that ERA totals will come down and get about a K per inning. But if I need pitchers, I'm looking for the next guy. Christopher Sanchez is one of those guys.
Oh yeah, and he's extremely low roster right now too. I think he's below 5%. So, I mean, those are the type of guys you want to target because he's on nobody else's radar right now. And, last night he was extremely good, kind of had a tough luck loss, only allowed 2 runs, only 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts last night against the Nationals. I mean, that's a pretty good team, the Nationals. They're not the best, but, they've shown to be a tough competitor and, shown to be able to put up runs against some good pitchers. And, seeing a guy like Sanchez come out here and do that, and especially, I mean, he's had 3 good games in a row against the Nationals, the Mets, and the Athletics. So I'm looking forward to his next start. Unfortunately, it's against the Rays. That's always tough, but I think I'm still rolling him out there for it.
Yeah, I mean they've kind of brought him along slowly here. He made a start back in April, but then I think was sent back down. And since then has made 3 straight starts, and every start he's gotten better and better. Again, last night he said like the tough luck home run, but the strikeout total is going to get about a strikeout per inning. The walks are really good too. He's not walking a lot of guys. He's never given up, again, small sample, but he's never given up more than 3 earned runs a game. So, and then last night was a quality start, 6 strikeouts. And then, the XFIP and the FIP are really well too. So, I mean, he's going to continue to probably see better ERA ratios going forward. All right, well, that's going to do this week's show. Again, you want to get more names, you're thirsty for more names, didn't maybe cover a guy that you were thinking about or something, jump on over to fantasysixpack.net, check out Connor's article. Got a ton more names there for you to check out. You can do so by becoming a member at fantasysixpack.net/plans. But other than that, that's going to be the Week 14 Waiver Wire videos. Anything to add before we get out of here, Connor?
Oh, no, I mean, you kind of covered it all. Yeah, just go check out that Waiver Wire article, sign up for the membership. 42 extra players are on. We had 21 batters and 21 pitchers. Scour the guys, finding the best ones available for you guys. So go ahead and sign up for that and find the rest of the players.
Yeah, we've had a really good, not just me and JP, but Connor's had a really good, stretch here finding guys that are really low owned that maybe people don't think about, and then you pick them up and they've been, the hottest hitter in baseball the next 2 weeks. So check out that article for sure. See ya.